Hello, thanks for joining us on another episode of Property Doctor, the show that brings to property owners and property users the easiest remedies to maintain your homes, to manage your homes, to beautify your homes, and to help you save money and to save time and even your resources. My name is Fumi Amunega Ajayi. I am known as your Property Doctor. You can connect with us on Facebook at Property Doctor NG and on Instagram at Property Doc NG. You can also connect with us on YouTube as you are doing now on Property Doctor NG. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so on the link that accompanies this video. You're going to learn a lot of things on this particular channel. So thank you for your messages, for those of you that send messages to us, and thank you for your calls. Thank you for advice. Thank you for counsel. Thank you for your tips. Thank you for everything, and thank you for being there. Today we'll be talking about cheap ventilation and cooling of our buildings. We always say shelter is very important, and as it is also a basic need for man, we need to take it seriously. We need buildings to provide this shelter for us. The buildings can be for schools, they can be for homes, markets, hospitals, offices, and so on. It is important that the buildings should be cool enough for us to enjoy our stay in the buildings. So we have natural methods of cooling our buildings, and this is very important because it's also cheap. Ventilation is a very big deal in any building. You know, you can have intentional method of ventilating the building by providing windows. So ventilation is mainly used to control the indoor air quality by diluting and displacing indoor pollutants just for fresh air to come into the building. It can also be used to control indoor temperature, the humidity in the building, and the air motion to benefit the thermal comfort of the building and to the satisfaction of the people in the building and the indoor environment generally. So natural method of cooling and ventilating our buildings are usually very cheap and manageable because you put that in the cost of construction, so it's not on the users of the building. So the first thing to consider is using the windows and maybe big doors or doors generally. The type of window you use in the house can determine the cooling effect you can have in your building. You can watch our video on window types so that it can guide you on what type of window you can choose from. We have different windows. We have sliding windows, casement window, we have the jalousie window. Just watch the video and get more tips on the window type. It will help you ventilate your building very well and in a very cheap manner as well. If your building is not well ventilated and cool, you might face problems like stuffiness in the buildings, easy transmission of diseases, and being uncomfortable in the building, if I just want to mention a few problems. So it's very important to cool our buildings very well and get proper ventilation. In some areas, the temperature is very low and you say it's cool, but the building is expected to be cool, right? But other things can make the coolness of the environment not have an impact. So you need air, fresh air to come in. You need to change the air in the building by introducing windows. The first thing we need to do is to create natural cooling system by introducing cross ventilation in the building, by having windows on the opposite side of the building and in effective directions in the room. Now, if you don't have windows on the opposite sides of the building, maybe you moved into a building and you found out that the windows were not done in that manner, you can introduce high-level windows, maybe at the top of another window or on the top of a door or even on the side of the wall. These windows can be placed on the high level of the wall or on the top of the door or on top of another window, and it creates a beautiful ambience to the building. So you can also introduce large windows in the room. If you don't have enough opportunity to create cross ventilation like I talked about before, you can just put a very large window in the room. Now we have machines generating heat that can be placed close to the windows. When I say machines generating heat can be placed close to the windows, I mean things like your refrigerators, your deep freezers. They can generate heat and can make the room to be hot. So you can place this equipment by the side of the window so that it doesn't generate heat in the building. Let's go on a short break, and when we return, we'll be talking more about how to introduce ventilation into the building using machines. But before then, Property Doctor has some products that can help you stay healthy. We have the PD soap, the PD bleach, the PD paint, the PD tile care, the glass care, the PD paint. We have the emulsion, the satin, the silk, the matte, different kinds of paint. You can contact us for any of these products, and you can get them from your stores close to you. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We have been talking about cheap ventilation and cooling of our buildings, and we hope you are enjoying this particular episode. If you are still watching, then you need to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. So let's talk about the mechanical methods of cooling our buildings. You know, sometimes we use hand fan when the weather gets too hot. Now, in those days, we have different methods of and different kinds of hand fan we use in the olden days. I give you some of the pictures so that you can have an idea of what I am talking about. Now, mechanical ventilation is the intentional fanning or fan-driven flow of outdoor air into your building. That is, you're using fan to bring the air outside into the building intentionally, using mechanical methods. And we are looking at fans. We talked about different fans just now, but you can also use electrical fan. You can use the extractor fan. You can use the ceiling fan and different kinds of fan to cool the building. When we talk about using machines in ventilating a building, we are talking about mechanical ventilation systems. This may include the supply of fans, like I mentioned before, and this pushes outdoor air into the building. Exhaust fans can draw air out of the building and thereby cause equal ventilation also to flow into the building. Or you can have a combination of both. Mechanical ventilation is often provided by equipment, and that is also used to heat or cool a space. But we know we are talking about cooling now. So when we introduce fans to cool the apartment, we are introducing fresh air into the building and the coolness of the building to be seen. So we can introduce air conditioners and have different types of cooling system, like the split unit. We have the central cooling system, we have the window units, we have extractor fans, and another method is using the solar cooling system in our buildings. You know, we have a lot of sunlight and solar power here in Nigeria. So we can use the solar power to generate a cooling system in our building instead of spending so much money on power supply and even thinking of bypassing your meters. That is very bad. So the experts will help you on this particular aspect. That's the solar cooling system of your building. So if the weather is dry or is harsh or is very hot in some areas, some people suggest you use cooling humidifier in the building. What do you think? Please leave a comment below on your ideas of cooling your building. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Property Doctor. You can call us so that we can learn from you. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we hope to see you same time next week for another interesting episode of Property Doctor. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.